Kennedy International Airport, the airport mentioned in the film. Effects. The plan behind the scenes was to create an intriguing visual signature, to serve the subtleties of the script and to help personify death. Production designer John Willett developed the concept of skewing the sets. What I've tried to do with the sets themselves, with their design and with various color choices, is to make things just a little unnatural, Willett explained. Nothing that calls attention to itself, but instead creates a sense of uneasiness, the unsettling feeling that something's not quite right. To achieve this mystique, Willett designed two versions of virtually every set. One version was used before the crash and the other sets were used for scenes after the jet explodes. On the skewed sets, I forced the perspective either vertically or horizontally, Willett explained. Nothing is square, and although you can't put your finger on it, it just makes you feel like something is not right. Skewing was also part of the overall design for the color palette used in set decoration and costume design. In the real world, the colors are bright and rich, Willett said. In the skewed world, they're washed out and faded. Nothing is obvious, and it's only in the overall effect that these subtle differences will work their magic. The plane scene during which passengers die in mid-air was created inside a very large sound stage. The 3-ton hydraulic gimbal was operated automatically. We spent 2 months building this central set piece that weighs about 45,000 pounds and holds 89 people, special effects supervisor Terry Sonderhoff explained. Used for filming the onboard sequences, it could be shifted on the gimbal to create a pitching movement of up to 45 degrees side to side and 60 degrees front to back, realistically conveying the horror of airborne engine failure. Sawa said that the screams of the cast inside the gimbal made it appear more real. Wong said, "You walk into the studio and there's a huge gimbal with a plane on top and you think, what have I done? I was afraid we were gonna have 40 extras vomiting." A miniature model of the Boeing 747 airplane was created for the explosion scene. The model, one of the most detailed miniature scenes in the film, was about 10 feet long and 7 feet wide, and the landing gear was made from all machined metals. According to visual effects supervisor Ariel Velasco-Shaw, the miniature had to be launched about 40 feet up into the air to make it look like a real Boeing 747 exploded into a fireball. If blowing up a 4-foot plane, the explosion must be a minimum of 8 feet in the air. To film the explosion in detail, the crew used 3 cameras running 120 frames per second and 1 camera running 300 frames per second. If they had filmed using a real-time camera, the succession of the explosion would not be filmed in a particular order.